co-founder and COO of Keto Chow, and this is Chris, my lovely assistant.
Today we're going to be doing a autocomplete thing. You've probably seen these on the internet. Usually it's the Google autocomplete interview, but we're going to do the generic, non-specific search engine autocomplete interview. Okay. So, you're starting. You're starting. Okay. So these are common questions that people search for on the net, and we're going to be answering them.
This says, where is KC? Which could mean Keto Chow.
Could mean Kansas City.
Mean something. We'll see. Okay, where is KC made?
Oh, where's Keto Chow made? It's made in northern Utah. If you want to get really specific, it's in a place called Spanish Fork, Utah. We use what's called a co-packer or a co-manufacturing facility. They have the big giant machinery, the hair nets,
they have a whole entire
lab
room
coats.
That's closed off from everything. Very sanitary.
So that's where we have it made. That way we don't have to get the FDA inspection. They do.
It's awesome.
Okay.
I recommend.
Is Keto Chow
healthy?
Healthy.
Oh, sorry. I said it.
Now you answer it.
I think so. Also.
All right. So, is Keto Chow healthy?
Sorry.
Don't put it in your eye.
Or your husband's eye.
And our Electrolyte drops come in a little dropper bottle that look like eye drops. Don't put those in your eye either.
Just because any dropper looks like an eyedropper. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Every dropper looks like an eyedropper.
But Keto Chow, is Keto Chow healthy?
I think so. I think it's healthy.
Yeah. It's been specifically designed. It's been engineered to be healthy. So all the stuff that you need, the vitamins, the minerals, protein, all of that. And it's funny because we get this question a lot about, can you give Keto Chow to kids?
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's not designed for kids, but it's a lot healthier for them, I would say, than giving them dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets. So.
Yeah. Is Keto Chow really keto?
Okay, so there aren't any keto foods. There are keto-friendly foods, or foods that are conducive to a keto diet. And I would say that Keto Chow meets that criteria. Yeah. It's ultra low in carbohydrates, both total and net carbohydrates. It's got a lot of good protein. It's got the electrolytes that you need for a ketogenic diet. If you are doing a well-formulated ketogenic diet and use Keto Chow, it's going to help you remain in ketosis and produce your own ketones. So, yes. It's keto.
Yeah, something else to mention is it doesn't have fat in it. So if you think of ketogenic as having a lot of fat, then I guess you could say no. But we left the fat out because we want you to be able to customize it to what fat you want and how much you want, because not everyone is the same size.
What?
So you'll be able to find satiation in a different place depending on how much fat you put in.
Absolutely. Okay, my turn. Does Keto Chow break a fast?
I would say yes, because it's food.
It's protein.
Things.
Yeah, so it would break a fast.
Yeah. I think some people have used it as like a Keto Chow fast, so as their only meal, so they say that they're having a fast, but they're not actually fasting from food and nutrients, they're just fasting from everything else. So, I mean, that way I guess it would be called its own type of fast, but anything with calories, anything with protein, is going to break a fast, period, no matter what.
Now, we do know a lot of people that use Keto Chow when they're ending an extended fast because it's very easy to digest and has a lot of good nutrients. So there you go as well.
Yeah. Is Keto Chow gluten-free?
We have an FAQ about that. Yes, it is. It was actually tested. Totally gluten-free. And we used to just assume that it was gluten-free because
all of the ingredients do not contain gluten.
Yeah, but we went through the trouble of actually having it tested and certified as gluten-free. Okay, here we go. Does Keto Chow help you lose weight?
Oh, that's a good question. It can, if you use it correctly. Also, it can help you gain weight.
That's true. It could help you get to a healthy weight. Now, a lot of times people will be like, well, does Keto Chow work? And it's like, by itself, absolutely. If you are snacking, if you are eating French fries,
meals a day plus Keto Chow, like you may be overeating.
Yeah.
So
So it's not magic food. It's just well-formulated, good keto food.
Yes.
By itself, it'll do extremely well. In fact, I actually did an experiment where I only ate Keto Chow for 100 days. Turned out really well.
Does Keto Chow have caffeine?
That's a really good question. We have one flavor that has added caffeine, and that's the mocha.
Yes.
There's like 99 milligrams of actual like powdered caffeine in it, plus a couple of milligrams from the coffee powder. It has actual coffee powder in it, and it has cocoa powder. There are several other flavors of Keto Chow that have cocoa powder in them.
Yes, which has caffeine in it.
Yeah, just a tiny amount. The chocolate peanut butter, chocolate core, those, I think it has 12 milligrams of caffeine per serving. Not a lot. If you're completely avoiding caffeine, you'd want to avoid most of the chocolate flavors. Chocolate toffee does not.
Yeah.
It has no caffeine in it whatsoever. And the caramel macchiato has, I think, 9 milligrams, and the Irish cream has 4.2.
And that is in the natural flavoring.
It's part of the flavoring, yeah. There's a very small amount of actual coffee powder in the caramel macchiato and the Irish cream that do give it that tiny, tiny amount of caffeine.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's about the same amount of caffeine you get walking through a coffee shop.
Yeah, breathing.
All right, here we go. Is Keto Chow good for you?
I think so.
Well, that's super succinct. I mean, and we're coming back to it's been engineered for human nutrition.
Yeah.
Like all of the ingredients have been very well thought out. It's designed to give you everything that you need. So I would argue that it is good for you, better than just about any other food that you're going to run into. I do prefer that people eat steak than Keto Chow because steak is amazing.
And bacon.
Yeah, and ground beef.
Also salmon.
Those are good for you as well. But if you want something sweet, if you want something you can make into ice cream, if you want something that you can mix up and take off, I think Keto Chow is great.
Is Keto Chow carnivore?
Oh, it depends on your definition of carnivore and what you're doing. Most strict carnivores will stick to, hey, nothing that's made from plants. We do have acacia gum as a emulsifier. It allows the fat to mix with the water so that you don't get a layer of butter on top when you've mixed it up. And there are a few other ingredients that come from plant sources. Most of the vitamins that we have are actually coming from animal sources, though, because it's the versions that humans need. But usually couch that with, if you are doing carnivore but you still drink coffee, which is also not carnivore, you're probably going to be okay with Keto Chow. But if you're doing a strict, absolutely strict carnivore, and you're only eating stuff that comes from animals, that also means that you're not having any sweetener whatsoever, in which case
It's not carnivore.
it would not be carnivore. So does Keto Chow keep you full?
Oh, that's a good question. I think yes. If you have enough fat in it, you will feel full. If you're eating it without fat, you probably won't feel full.
Yeah, then it's just vitamins, minerals, and some protein.
Which is still good.
And the protein will help you keep full. We have a lot of people who will actually report that Keto Chow keeps them so full that sometimes they forget to eat another meal. And if you are feeling like you're not super full when you're doing Keto Chow, yeah, check the amount of fat that you're putting in there.
Our Chris and Miriam.
Married?
Yes.
Yes, we're married.
Oh, still friends.
Yes, I would say that we are still
We
friends.
are friends, yes. We agree to disagree from time to time.
Yeah, and every once in a while, I've learned this recently. I can say, hey, I just want to fuss about something.
Yeah, it really helps, because then I don't try to fix it, and then he also doesn't try to fix it when I say that. Something else that's really helpful is I say, you said this, I felt and heard this. And so then he can see that he offended me somehow. And I can acknowledge that I don't think he was meaning to offend me, but he did. So I think that helps our relationship.
Yep, we even share an office.
Yeah.
In fact, this used to be our office, and we moved to another space and still share an office.
So I can turn around and throw stuff at him if I want.
And
He usually doesn't like that.
And she also turns on the lights every time she comes
It's
in.
because it's easier to see the screen with the window on the back of it.
Ah.
Like it's just the light changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's weird. Also the sun, like daytime. It's nice.
Is Keto Chow legit? It is too legit to quit.
We're too old.
So old. I guess the question is more like, is it a legitimate company?
Yes.
Are we actually here? We are a legitimate company. We have a physical location. You can actually come and visit us.
Yep.
We have like 50 employees that work here. We're actually registered with the state. We pay taxes.
Yeah, we pay taxes.
We have to collect taxes and remit them to states where people live. There's a lot of regulatory stuff.
Yeah.
So legitimate, yes, we are.
Does Keto Chow lower blood sugar? It depends.
It depends. And sometimes it will slightly raise blood sugar. Kind of the best answer to this question is we have a lot of type 1 diabetics. These are people who, they don't produce their own insulin at all. They have to inject insulin. So if their blood sugar is being raised by something that they ate, they have to add insulin.
Yeah.
And several type 1s will tell us that when they have Keto Chow, they pretty much just have to treat it for the amount of protein that's in it.
Which is 26 grams.
Yeah. And so it doesn't really raise blood sugar. It doesn't really lower blood sugar either. If you are having problems with your blood sugar, say you're type 1 or type 2 diabetic, and you're looking for foods that don't raise blood sugar, and you're looking to lower your blood sugar, I would say, personally, not a doctor, that Keto Chow or any other foods that are conducive to a ketogenic diet are going to be probably the best thing you can use.
Yeah.
So does it help you lower your blood sugar?
Yeah.
Probably.
And something you just have to consider is everyone is different.
Yeah.
A type 1 would have to have insulin for the protein, but we also have noticed that it's a slow raise. It's not like a spike.
Yeah.
So that is helpful too for diabetics. But yeah, everyone is different, so you should test it on yourself. If you have the question, try it or don't. And that's okay too.
That's right.
What is
Salty.
salty?
Now it's got the 2 T's. You pronounce the last one salty. So Salty is the new brand that we've launched to put all of our electrolytes under. In the past, we had our fasting drops, our magnesium drops, our electrolyte drops, the daily minerals, and we decided that we wanted to make a powdered electrolyte drink mix that was sweetened with stevia. It would dissolve really easy. It would have more potassium than most of the other ones out there. And because of the type of salt that we're using, it comes along with a whole bunch of trace minerals.
Yeah.
One of those being a lot of magnesium. You compare Salty to most of the other powdered electrolytes on the market, they have like 60 milligrams of magnesium. Salty has 3 times that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's our new electrolytes because we figured we could do something a little better than some of the other ones that were out there. Is Keto Chow dairy-free?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yes and no. So our main Keto Chow, the first stuff that we came out with is dairy. It's a milk protein isolate. That's the main
Makes
bulk
it
of
really
the protein.
creamy,
It's creamy
and it mixes
yummy,
well.
and it helps give body to things you cook with it and that's fun because cooking keto sometimes is difficult. So yes, that has dairy in it. And then a lot of times we add dairy as the fat. So you'd add heavy cream or butter.
Which I don't consider dairy, even though it is. It doesn't have a lot of dairy protein in it, which I think is what people are most concerned about with dairy. In addition to the normal one, we have the core line, which is completely dairy-free. It uses beef protein isolate. We have different sweetener options available, either sweetened with stevia or with no sweetener at all, so you can add whatever you want. Those are lactose-free, dairy-free. They do taste different from the normal ones.
And they don't mix the same.
And they don't mix the same. But for people who are looking for something that's dairy-free, that's as, well, nearly as convenient as Keto Chow, you do have to mix up the core with a blender.
Yeah.
Like, period. You can't do it with just a shaker bottle or else it's going to clump up. But if you're looking for something that's nearly as convenient as Keto Chow, that's dairy-free, the core is fantastic.
Yeah. Do Keto Chow.
Do Keto Chow.
Do Keto Chow. Electrolytes work.
I would say so.
Yeah.
personal experience, we've had instances where I've had a headache. We're on a plane flight or something, coming in, and I need electrolytes so bad. Although we don't usually recommend people drink it this way, I will take the electrolytes and just shoot it down my throat. And my headache goes away almost instantaneously. But we've had other instances where we've been on long hikes.
Yep.
Use the electrolyte drops. We have multiple friends who, they work in like high school officiating.
Yeah.
And if a kid passes out on the field, he's going over there and he's like, here, drink this.
Have some electrolytes.
I think that they work really well. And we do have different ones. So we've got the electrolyte drops, we've got the magnesium drops, the fasting drops. They're useful for different things. And I think they work really well. In fact, the magnesium drops was your recommendation.
It tastes horrible. And
Yeah.
that's not a lie. Like, it tastes real bad. But it works real good.
Because you were having like...
I couldn't sleep at night because my legs were hurting.
Night, leg cramps, stuff like that. So the different electrolytes work extremely well, and they are in super bioavailable forms. The liquid ones they're already dissolved in a liquid.
Yeah.
So you're going to absorb them super
Really
quickly.
fast.
The powdered ones, because we do have capsules and we have the salty drink mix, those used to be a liquid form.
Right.
So everything was dissolved, and then we dried it into a powder, and it dissolves super quickly. So I think they work really well.
Yeah, I really love them.
I think we're our best customer of the electrolytes.
Good job, us.
Okay, my turn. What is your favorite flavor of Keto Chow? Oh, that's a hard one.
Surprise.
Let's see. What day is it today?
What is our favorite flavor, or what do I eat the most?
Is your favorite flavor of Keto Chow?
What I eat the most is probably chocolate mint.
Okay.
What my favorite is chocolate toffee and chocolate peanut butter put together. They're so good.
What do you call that?
It's Butterfingers.
Buttery fingers, that's right.
So good.
Lately, I've been eating a lot of the butterscotch. If I have my druthers, I like to make Keto Chow as a Ninja Creamy and eat it as ice cream. I actually was debating this morning because it was about 30 minutes before we were going to record this, and I was like, do I have time to really enjoy my ice cream? Or am I going to wait? And I just decided I was going to wait. So after we're done here, I have a full pint of butterscotch Keto Chow ice cream that I'm going to have for breakfast.
I want to do that and just pour a cream soda on top of it.
Okay, you can do that.
I just don't have any cream soda.
But my favorite flavor, favorite, has got to be chocolate peanut butter.
Yeah.
Faced with all the other ones, I will make that one consistently. And the chocolate itself is not a slouch
It's
either.
so good.
And if you ever you're mixing it up and something goes wrong and the butter solidifies, you pour it into a mug, you heat it up as hot chocolate. It's so good. There's a reason why chocolate is our #1 bestseller, even though it's like, oh, it's chocolate. No, it's good chocolate.
It's so good. I love it.
Okay.
Is Keto Chow, that's kind of boring after a while. Is Keto Chow?
Well, we'll see.
Is Keto Chow boring? Oh, protein powder.
Keto Chow does have protein powder. And a lot of times people will be like, oh, it's so expensive, it's just protein powder. It's a lot more than protein powder. When I say that, I'm coming from a position of I actually lived off of just Keto Chow with no other source of nutrition for 100 days.
Yeah.
I challenge anyone to do that with protein powder.
Yeah, that's not a good challenge.
It would be terrible.
We don't want them to be
We don't want
unhealthy.
them to do that. Because Keto Chow is more than just that. It's all of the vitamins, all of the minerals, all the electrolytes, everything that you need to not just survive, but flourish. My blood test looked fantastic after doing that experiment.
Yeah.
And they're the forms of the vitamins and minerals that humans actually need. In fact, they're kind of difficult to get simply because all of the vitamins that you get from, you go down to the corner pharmacy and buy some multivitamins, those are going to be the cheapest ones they can possibly get.
Yeah.
And if you're just looking for cheap, well, a protein shake is a good way to add some more protein to your diet.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what you're trying to do? Great. If you're trying to replace a meal because you are on the go and you need something that you can grab and it's going to fill you up for 4 to 6 hours, and you're going to not be hangry, and yeah, that's what Keto Chow is for. It has protein, but it's not just a protein shake.
Yeah.
Does Keto Chow last in the fridge?
Yeah, it does. So we typically say it lasts up to 6 days in the fridge. Then you can just grab them periodically throughout the week. And it's nice that we have that 6-day window, because it's like if it gets to the end of the week, I just know if we have too many, I'll just dump them into like a Ninja Creamy container, put them in the freezer, and then they all will last forever.
Well, in a lot of protein shakes, it's a race to mix it up and try to drink it as quickly as possible, because they get really gnarly after a couple of hours, let alone a couple of days.
Right.
I think there are digestive enzymes in there to make them easier to digest. We don't have those in there. And so you mix up Keto Chow and stick it in the fridge, and like you said, it'll last at least 6 days, sometimes a little bit longer. But we try to not make more than will last for 6 days.
Yeah.
And does it last not in the fridge? Treat it like milk. Once you've mixed it up,
don't leave it out.
If you would feel comfortable leaving milk out on the counter for the amount of time, then
it's fine.
It's fine. Mix it up, leave it there for 10 or 15 minutes while you're doing other stuff. I've done that while I'm camping, and it was fine.
Yeah. Where is Casey sold?
Ooh. So the number one place that Keto Chow is sold is on our website, ketochow.xyz. You also can come in and physically buy it. If you're in the Salt Lake City area, we're
Come
down
and
in
see
the...
us. We want to see you.
Yeah, we're in the southern part of the valley in Draper, so you can buy it there. There are some doctor's offices that buy it and sell it to their patients so that they can have some.
Have another tool.
You can buy it on Amazon. I would caution you that Keto Chow is more expensive on Amazon. It just is. Amazon charges a lot to have the stuff on their website. It costs us about 35% to have Keto Chow on Amazon. We do have a distributor in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's cool.
Who also services Australia. Yeah, you want to go scuba diving
I just want to go meet them. Also, scuba diving.
And we used to have a distributor in Canada, Switch Grocery, and we are working to get Keto Chow back up into there. Health Canada went on a little bit of a tear, and all of the products that everybody was importing from the United States, they said, no, you have to make these with the English and French
so that's what we're
packaging
doing.
and the whole deal. So we're still working on that. We're getting close. But that's where you can buy Keto Chow. Does Keto Chow expire?
Everything expires, including people.
Yeah, it's technically not an expiration date. It's a best by date.
Yep, and it actually really has a great shelf life. It's 5 years, and it's been tested for that. So that's super awesome.
And they were actually real-time tests. Like we took packets that were 5.5 years old and had them opened up and analyzed the vitamin content.
Yeah, and everything was great.
Yeah. So most of the bags, they come with a mostly airtight seal, a zipper. Some of the zippers are a bit easier to use than the others. Some of them you have to flick a little bit to get powder out. You can also put them into containers. That's actually what we do. We take them out of the bags and put them into containers so they're a bit easier to scoop. If you're really concerned about the humidity where you live, you can always store stuff in the freezer. It's super low humid in there, and the water activity is also extremely low. Well, thank you everybody so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun, just going through kind of quickly some of the most common questions that at least non-specific search engine sees about Keto Chow. So if you have any questions that you would like us to answer, drop them in the comments down below. Maybe we'll do an entire video about that, or we'll just answer the question in the comments. But thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.